How to factor. So factoring is used when you have a quadratic equation, and a quadratic equation is just an equation with a power of 2. So for example, x squared plus 5x equals negative 6 is a quadratic equation because it has an x squared. My first step is always to set the equation equal to 0. And in order to do that over here, I have to add 6 on both sides. So I'll add the 6 here, I'll add the 6 here. I'll have x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. And now my next step, I know my first has to multiply out to x squared, so I have the x and x here. Now my number over here has to multiply out to 6, but when I add or subtract it has to give me the 5. And my factors of 6 are just 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. So when I add 2 and I add 3 over here, that'll give me 5x over here and give me the 6 over here. And that equals 0. And all this is saying is that x plus 2 times x plus 3 is 0. So if x plus 2 is 0, or if x plus 3 is 0, my answer will be 0. So that's why I set x plus 2 to 0 and x plus 3 equal to 0. Over here, x will equal negative 2. Over here, x will equal negative 3. And these will be my two answers for my quadratic. Let's try this with one more example. I'll make it slightly tougher. So let's see. Now I have x squared minus 9x equals negative 14. So let's set this equal to 0, and we can do that by adding 14 on both sides. It'll be x squared minus 9x plus 14 equals 0. Now in this case, I have my x and x over here because that needs to multiply out to x squared. But the number over here needs to give me positive 14. But when I add and subtract, it needs to give me negative 9. Negative 7 and negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 7 will give me positive 14. But when I add or subtract them, minus 2 and minus 2 over here will give me minus 9. And again, I can set my x minus 7 to 0. I can set my x minus 2 equal to 0. And that'll give me x equals 7 or x equals 2.